Hello, BRC108 and Professor Ritzenthaler, and I may be experiencing context collapse right now. You would think that being a person who is active on Tumblr and sometimes YouTube, I would be used to staring at a camera and not feeling this way, but I'm not sure if it's something anyone ever really gets used to. There's a lot to talk about from just watching Professor Wesch's video, just reading about it in the extra links, just the fact that in January 2008 there was 10 hours of video being uploaded every minute, but in March 2010, which is over 2 years ago, there was 24 hours of video being uploaded every minute. Being a part of my generation and this generation of people who've grown up in such a media saturated and YouTube saturated everything, like even though it just started in 2005, I feel like YouTube has been such a big part of my life because it's been everywhere for me. The internet is something that I'm on constantly. First thing I think I want to cover is one of the first things that Wesch talks about, and it's the fact that people will take these YouTube phenomenon hits and imitate them and spread joy throughout making a dance video or lip sync video, which I am guilty of, definitely. His point about cultural inversion and the fact that we spend all this time alone doing these things independently and we long for authentic, genuine connections with people, and I think that's very true. And I think even though we're spending this time alone, consciously and unconsciously, we are connecting with people. I have a huge group on Tumblr, my followers, mutual followers, that I feel completely connected with. And that wasn't even my intention when I made a Tumblr. I made a Tumblr to post pictures and videos of things that I liked and to reblog things and look at things. I didn't make a Tumblr to make friends, but I did, because that's what I think we all want, is just to be interconnected with everybody. Well, that's more of a subconscious example that just kind of happened. Consciously, we are constantly clicking share, like, reblog. We are doing all of these things because we want to show people things, we want to make connections, we want to start a dialogue. That's why we make comments on things. Wesch makes a point with the more emotional YouTube videos that he shows, where he says that, even though we have this distance between us, I'm looking at a camera and not at you or whoever's gonna view this, even though we have that distance, I can connect depending on what the subject matter is, if it's emotional, serious, whatever it is, I can connect deeper than I can connect with some of my peers that I see every day, because I can put something out there. And I think we see that most often in the confession and secret videos that a lot of people post nowadays, where kids, it'll usually be in black and white, and kids will be holding up a card that says something about their lives that they have never told anyone, or have told very few people, or never felt comfortable saying before. And just being able to look at this camera and not have someone looking at you and judging you and feeling that, because you're completely cut off from that sort of looking glass self where people are evaluating you while you're speaking. I mean, I have no idea what anyone is going to be doing when they view this. I have no idea what they're thinking. I have no idea if they're thinking, wow, she's talking way too fast right now. I have no idea, and there is a kind of terror in that, in the fact that I have no idea, but there's also a sense of freedom that I can open myself up and put it out there, and to just not have an immediate judgment on it. I do not believe that because of YouTube and social media that we are losing a sense of community. We are just gaining a different sense. And it's a very different sense, and it's a sense that is going to challenge a lot of generations and people who just aren't into this kind of community. I've seen YouTube do wonderful things for other people. I have a friend, her name is Rachel Whitehurst. Her username on YouTube is I Call It Ambrosia. She's a makeup guru. She films makeup tutorials, but the video that went crazy that got her recognized and even made her pursue making videos on YouTube was a rant she made about being Jewish on Christmas. And now she has 50,000 subscribers, over 50,000 subscribers. I'm sure she loves it and she's great, and she has a loyal audience, which I think is something that's amazing about YouTube. Is it creates this audience and this community of people and friends and fans for a lot of YouTube generators, just fans that are totally devoted to them. One more point I'd like to make, and I'm sure I'm probably running out of time, so I'm gonna edit this to try and get it down. I liked the point where he brought up how we can't kill the instinct that technology gives us. We can only criminalize it, because the instinct of technology is to take it, make it your own, combine it into something else, and I think that instinct is something that needs to be researched maybe, or more looked into, instead of jumping on the copyright bandwagon where, you know, you just shouldn't take anything that isn't yours and not make it, because I think that's very stifling. And I think that YouTube has created a new place where, just as Wesch showed, all of the remix videos and things like that, we need to realize that this is something people do automatically, instead of trying to kill it, which we'll be unsuccessful at, and trying to criminalize it, which isn't working because people still do it. We just need to study it and figure out how to live in a world where the internet universe is becoming larger and larger every day, and where YouTube is becoming bigger and bigger, and all forms of social media are just expanding. A lot more time needs to be spent on the subject, and I found Wesch's video very entertaining and very informational. I hope everybody has a good day, or good night, or good whenever, because contacts collapse. I don't know when you're going to be watching this.